Hey, welcome to lesson 1. Because it's our first lesson, I want to start with a really easy skill. But we're going to use that easy skill to build bigger and more complex sentences. So this lesson is for any student who wants to build better sentences in English. We start with the basics. What's in the picture? Decorations, flowers, drinks, a woman, plates, all of these things we call them nouns. So Anna is a singular noun, one person. Decorations is a plural noun, many decorations. We're going to talk about that more in lesson 4, but today I want to talk about how to use nouns. How can we use them? Of course, we can use a noun with a verb. And we use a noun with a verb to show the action that the noun did. And in this case, Anna did an action, Anna bought. But the sentence is not complete, right? Anna bought what? We need more information, so we say Anna bought decorations. We added an extra noun. And now we have two nouns. We have this one and this one. What do we call them? We call this one a subject because a subject does the action. And we call this one an object because the object comes after the action. So try another example. Anna hung what? Anna hung the decorations. Again, we have subject, verb, object. And this is a really, really common pattern in English. You're going to see it again and again and again. How about this one? The guests arrived. We have a subject, we have a verb. Arrived what? Arrived the guests? No, this one is already complete. We don't need an object. So in that case, it's just a subject and a verb. So today we've learned that some verbs need an object and some verbs don't need an object. And that's something we're going to study more in lesson 2. How can we practice this? Carol makes butter. Carol sells butter. It's simple, right? Subject, verb, object, subject, verb, object. But in future lessons, we're going to learn more complicated grammar. So we can add to it. We're going to add a place, at home. Right? We use a preposition and another object. Fresh butter, we're going to use an adjective to describe butter. But we're going to use a comma and a conjunction. Now we can connect these two parts. She, we're going to replace Carol because we're repeating Carol, Carol. We can use a pronoun. We're going to replace butter with it, because we already mentioned butter. We're going to add usually. She usually sells it. That tells us when. That's an adverb. In town, that tells us where. So we have a preposition and another object. And then when the sentence is done, we're going to add a period. So now we have a complex sentence. Carol makes fresh butter at home, but she usually sells it in town. And it's more interesting. So now we'll practice sound. At home, I don't pronounce at home. I say at home. It's really quick, so I'll replace it. At home. And I'm going to ask you to try it. I don't say but, I say but she usually sells it in town. Right? I don't say she usually, I say she usually. Right? And it's a quick speaking style. It in town, I say it in town. So we try the whole thing together. Carol makes fresh butter at home, but she usually sells it in town. So our program focuses on not just grammar, but also pronunciation. How does a native speaker, like me, pronounce this sentence? So, 24 lessons. All of our lessons have that kind of grammar, and then practice, and then pronunciation. You might look at a new skill on Monday, but on Tuesday, you've forgotten about 20%. You need to review to bounce back up. A few days later, you've forgotten about 20%. You need to review. And so we review here, 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 again, again, again. We're reviewing the same skill to keep our skills back at 100%. Let me show you. We might do a question, a really simple one today, just to show you. Anna baked a cake. How many nouns? All right, and I'll ask you 0, 1, 2, or 3. You can answer that and look at the answer on our website. I might ask you to look at a paragraph. Find all of the nouns. And you can go to our solutions page. You can find all these examples. Right? I'm going to ask you to watch a video. You can write about it. So write about this woman. She collects hats. And it's kind of a funny, interesting video. You can use subjects, verbs, and objects and just practice that skill. Right? You don't want to just listen to me. You want to practice it yourself. You can do a speaking activity. So I'll show you how to pause for commas. The fish, cat, dog, bird, and ape are good friends. You're using that natural rhythm that native speakers use. And then I'll show you this picture. And I'll say, tell me about the picture. Using nouns, using commas, and you can record your voice. So when you record your voice, when you write a paragraph, you'll send it to me. And then I'm going to send you some advice. My advice, my suggestions about your speaking, your writing, your grammar, all those skills that you're practicing. So, you've forgotten it after a couple days. You need to try that skill again. We have a tell us activity. So I'm going to say, what do you see in your room right now? You could say, I see a bed, a desk, a mirror, a closet. You're practicing that natural rhythm that we did, and you can record your voice again. You might do a 100% review activity. So we'll listen to a song, and we're going to practice the grammar from the song. You can practice your listening, and then you can practice your speaking. So we're doing all those skills. A couple days later, we might have a contest, and I'll say, write a caption for this picture using a subject, a verb, and an object. And you take just 5 minutes to do it, but it really, really changes your skills because, like we forgot some, we bounce back up to 100%. Even 1 minute or 2 minutes of practice helps you get to 100%, and you get comfortable using those skills. So, how can we do it? We have 24 lessons. Today is lesson 1, and today when you go to our site, you're going to see review, learn, practice, create, 100% review. Those are the parts of today's lesson. So let me show you. So when you go to our site, you're going to find lesson 1 over here with review, learn, practice, create, and 100% review sections. Try it. I hope you guys enjoy it. Have fun, and I'll see you next time.